In the world of sports, discussions about pay equity have become increasingly prominent, especially in women's athletics. The recent comments made by American President Donald Trump regarding WNBA star Caitlin Clark have ignited a firestorm of debate, raising questions not only about salaries but also about jealousy, competition, and the future of women in sports. Before we jump into the thrilling controversy between Donald Trump and Caitlin Clark, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy this content, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's get into it. During a campaign rally, Trump suggested that Clark was being treated unfairly by her peers due to her rising popularity and success. This statement sent shockwaves through the sports community, prompting fans, athletes, and commentators to weigh in on the implications of his remarks. As Caitlin Clark's star rises, questions swirl. Is jealousy among players influencing her treatment? Can the WNBA effectively address salary disparities? Setting the stage, who is Caitlin Clark? Before diving into the controversy surrounding Trump's comments, it's essential to understand who Caitlin Clark is and why she has become a focal point in this discussion. Born in 1998 in Des Moines, Iowa, Clark has quickly risen to prominence as one of the most talented young players in women's basketball. She gained national attention during her time at the University of Iowa, where she shattered records and led her team to significant victories. Clark's playing style is electrifying. She possesses an uncanny ability to score from anywhere on the court and has been praised for her court vision and leadership. Her performances have drawn comparisons to some of the greatest players in the game, including NBA legends. As she transitioned to the WNBA with the Indiana Fever, expectations were sky-high. Fans eagerly anticipated how her skills would translate to professional play. However, despite her undeniable talent and growing fan base, Clark's salary remains a contentious issue. While she signed a 4-year deal worth $338,056 with the Fever, a substantial amount compared to many other female athletes, it pales in comparison to the salaries of male players in the NBA. This disparity is at the heart of Trump's comments, which have sparked outrage and support from various corners. The rally, a moment of controversy.
Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden yesterday facing major backlash. After that, those remarks from comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, it's not sitting well with the local Puerto Rican community.
Fox 5, Stephanie Bertini live in East Harlem with more on the reaction that's been pouring in. Stephanie, what do people say?
During a recent campaign rally, Trump took to the stage and began discussing Caitlin Clark's situation. His remarks were not just about basketball. They touched on deeper societal issues surrounding gender equity and competition. Caitlin Clark is incredible, he said, praising her talent and charisma. But then he pivoted sharply. She's being treated unfairly by other WNBA players because they're jealous of her success. The crowd erupted with mixed reactions. Some cheered while others expressed disbelief. Trump's assertion that jealousy among players could be influencing salary disparities struck a chord with many. Was he suggesting that personal feelings were at play in professional contracts? The implications were profound. The fallout begins. As news of Trump's comments spread like wildfire across social media platforms and news outlets, reactions poured in from all sides. Supporters lauded his recognition of Clark's talent, but criticized his framing of jealousy as a factor in wage disparities. Detractors argued that his comments trivialized serious issues surrounding pay equity in women's sports. Prominent athletes weighed in on the controversy. Many female athletes expressed frustration at being reduced to narratives of jealousy rather than being recognized for their hard work and dedication to their craft. They pointed out that wage disparities are rooted in systemic issues rather than personal rivalries.
Right?
Yeah.
Because back then, we had a first-round bye.
Oh,
so
okay.
we didn't get to play, I didn't get that 6th game. So I set the record in 5 games.
Yeah.
So to me...
The pay gap, a deep-rooted issue. To fully grasp the significance of Trump's comments, one must understand the broader context of pay disparities in women's sports. The WNBA has made strides in recent years regarding player salaries. However, they still lag far behind their male counterparts in professional sports. For instance, While Caitlin Clark's contract with the Fever is impressive for a female athlete, it pales compared to NBA salaries, where even rookie players earn significantly more than seasoned WNBA stars. The highest-paid player in the WNBA earns around $252,450 annually, while NBA players can command salaries exceeding $30 million per year. This stark contrast raises critical questions about how women's sports are valued within society. Why do female athletes continue to face these disparities despite their growing popularity? Is it merely a matter of market forces at play, or is there something deeper at work? The role of media coverage. One crucial factor contributing to pay disparities is media coverage, or lack thereof. Women's sports often receive significantly less coverage than men's sports, leading to lower visibility and sponsorship opportunities. This lack of exposure results in decreased revenue generation for women's leagues compared to their male counterparts. Caitlin Clark's rise has coincided with an increase in viewership for women's basketball, up 155% year-over-year, but this momentum must be sustained through consistent media coverage and support from networks willing to invest in women's sports.
The University of Iowa announced that basketball star Caitlin Clark will have her jersey retired and replaced with an apron.
Historical context. The evolution of women's sports understanding. Pay equity issues also requires examining the historical context surrounding women's sports. For decades, female athletes have fought against societal norms that relegated them to secondary status within athletics. The passage of Title IX in 1972 was a landmark moment for gender equality in education and athletics. However, its impact on professional sports has been uneven. While Title IX opened doors for women at collegiate levels, leading to increased participation rates, the professional landscape remained largely unchanged until recent years. Women's leagues often struggled for legitimacy and financial backing compared to their male counterparts. As a result, many female athletes found themselves navigating an uphill battle for recognition and fair compensation throughout their careers. Jealousy or systemic inequity? Trump's assertion that jealousy among players could be influencing salary negotiations raises eyebrows for several reasons. It suggests that interpersonal dynamics within teams may overshadow systemic issues that contribute to wage gaps, a narrative that many find reductive and misleading. As discussions surrounding Trump's comments continued to unfold, they inadvertently shifted focus toward advocacy for women's rights within sports, a movement gaining momentum across various platforms. Voices from within women's sports. Many female athletes have spoken out against this framing. They emphasize that competition among players should be viewed as a healthy aspect of sports rather than a source of animosity or jealousy. For instance, several WNBA stars took to social media platforms following Trump's comments to express their solidarity with Caitlin Clark while also highlighting their own struggles for fair compensation. "Jealousy has nothing to do with it," tweeted one prominent player. "We support each other as women athletes fighting for our worth." Such responses reflect a growing awareness among female athletes regarding their collective power and influence within the sports industry. Grassroots movements. Grassroots organizations dedicated to promoting gender equity in athletics have begun amplifying their efforts as more people engage with these conversations. Initiatives aimed at increasing funding for women's sports programs are gaining traction as advocates highlight disparities between male and female athletes. These movements are not just about salaries. They encompass broader issues such as access to training facilities, coaching opportunities, sponsorship deals, and media representation, all critical components influencing an athlete's career trajectory. High-profile support. High-profile figures have also joined the conversation. Celebrities from various industries are using their platforms to advocate for equal pay in women's sports. Social media campaigns featuring hashtags like #NumberPayWomenAthletes have garnered significant attention as influencers rally behind female athletes fighting for equitable treatment. Celebrities like Serena Williams have spoken out passionately about these issues. We need to elevate women's voices, not just on the court but off it too. Such statements resonate deeply within communities advocating for change. The future will change come. As we look ahead at what lies beyond Trump's controversial remarks on Caitlin Clark's salary, and indeed beyond pay equity discussions, it becomes clear that change is possible, but requires concerted effort from all stakeholders involved: fans, organizations, sponsors, and yes, even politicians. A call for action. The time has come for everyone invested in sports, whether as fans or participants, to take action toward ensuring equity within athletics. Support women's sports, attend games featuring female athletes, buy merchandise supporting women's teams, engage with content showcasing their achievements. Advocate for media coverage. Encourage networks and platforms to invest more resources into covering women's sports events. Demand equal airtime. Engage politically. Advocate for policies promoting gender equality within professional leagues. Hold organizations accountable when they fail to prioritize equity initiatives. Educate others. Share knowledge about existing disparities among friends and family members. Raise awareness about these issues so we can collectively push for change. Salary disparities across sports. When examining salary disparities across different sports leagues globally, not just limited solely between men and women, one can see stark contrasts everywhere. From football, NFL, versus soccer, NWSL, all way down through basketball leagues like NBA versus WNBA. In soccer alone, the average salary gap between male and female players remains staggering, with top-tier male stars earning upwards $10 million annually compared against mere $50,000 to $100,000 range seen among elite female counterparts. Similarly, within tennis tournaments, while prize money has improved significantly over years, thanks largely due advocacy efforts led by champions like Billie Jean King and Serena Williams, the reality remains many lower-ranked female competitors still struggle financially compared against male peers who dominate prize pools overall. These examples illustrate how pervasive these inequalities truly are, not merely confined solely within one league, but rather indicative broader cultural attitudes towards women competing professionally across various disciplines. Cultural attitudes toward female athletes. Cultural attitudes play an enormous role when discussing perceptions surrounding female athletes' worthiness, receiving equal treatment alongside males. From childhood onward, girls often receive messages suggesting they should pursue traditional roles, instead focusing solely competitive endeavors, which can lead them internalizing doubts regarding capabilities succeeding professionally later life. Additionally, media portrayal often emphasizes physical appearance over athletic prowess, leading audiences viewing women primarily through lens attractiveness rather than skill sets developed through years, hard work, dedication training required excel high levels competition. Such narratives reinforce stereotypes limiting opportunities available, aspiring young girls wishing pursue careers athletics, further perpetuating cycle inequality seen throughout industry today. The impact of sponsorship deals. Sponsorship deals represent another crucial aspect influencing overall financial landscape surrounding both men's and women's leagues alike. Historically speaking, male-dominated industries tend favor investing heavily, promoting male athletes, do perceived higher return investments based upon larger fan bases generated over decades, established traditions supporting them. Conversely, sponsorships directed towards women remain significantly lower despite growing interest viewership surrounding events like NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament, which saw record-breaking ratings recently, highlighting potential profitability untapped market segment waiting explored further. This lack investment ultimately translates directly into lower salaries offered female competitors, thereby perpetuating cycle inequality faced throughout entire system. Conclusion. Beyond jealousy. Donald Trump's comments about Caitlin Clark have sparked a significant controversy, highlighting the ongoing struggle for pay equity in women's sports. At a campaign rally, Trump suggested that Clark's peers might be jealous of her rising popularity, framing the issue of salary disparities in a way that many found reductive. This assertion has ignited debates about jealousy versus systemic inequities in athletics. As Clark's star continues to rise, questions swirl. Is jealousy truly at play? Can the WNBA effectively address these disparities? With tensions high and opinions divided, the future of women's sports hangs in the balance. Will Clark's success lead to meaningful change, or will it further entrench existing inequalities? The answers could reshape the narrative for female athletes everywhere, pushing for a future where every athlete receives fair compensation regardless of gender. The journey ahead may be fraught with challenges, but united, we stand strong, ready to face whatever comes next.